Hi everyone, Mizan here from the Huddle01 team, and in this video I'm going to be walking you all through our Huddle01 Meet application. So to create a meeting, I can go to my dashboard huddle01.app, log in and click on the start video meeting button. Once I do that, I'll be redirected to my meeting page, and like any other video conferencing application, first up is the lobby. This is the stage where I haven't joined the room yet, but I can play around with my controls, turn on and turn off my video mic, select my input and output audio devices, and I can also select different avatars over here. So in case my video is off, I can choose to be represented by these avatars inside the meeting. We have a few default avatars which we provide, and I can also use some NFTs that I own on these different blockchains over here. So we have support for a vast majority of blockchains, and if I have NFTs on those chains, I could use them as my in-room meeting avatars. So for now I'm gonna select this avatar, and before I join the room I can also select my display name over here. So I can enter a custom display name, or I can choose one from here. These are my decentralized identities on different blockchains again. I have my lens name, unstoppable domain, ENS base name, and many more. So I'm going to choose one of them and I'm going to join the meeting. So let's give it a few seconds, and yes, I'm inside the room now. I have the link over here to share it with other people so they can join. And for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be joining from a different tab. So I'll enter this URL in a different tab. I'm gonna turn off my video and mic, and instead of signing in over here, I'm gonna join as a guest. So I can see that I am already in the meeting from the other tab, and when I click on join meeting over here, since I am the host, that is I created this meeting, I'll be able to manually admit or decline this user from joining the meeting. I can click on admit to let them in, and I could also bypass this restriction by clicking on this button over here. This basically unlocks the room, and any subsequent users could join without needing my approval. So now the other peer is in the room, I'm going to lock this room again, and I'll show you some of the major features that we have over here. So let's go over them one by one. Of course, at the bottom I have my most important buttons to turn on my camera and mic, and the other peer will be able to see that my video is on from the first tab. Alright, after that we have the chat. So every meeting room has an in-room chat where I can send messages and emojis as well. And I also have a GIF selector over here where I can search for any GIF that I want and send them in the chat. And when I switch to the other tab, I'll be able to see them coming in. Alright, after that, apart from the global chat room which every peer can chat in, I also have an inbox feature over here where I can DM one of the other peers in private. So if I wanted to message the guest, I could send them a message over here, and from the other tab I should be able to see that coming in the inbox. So this is how private messaging works inside a room. Other peers won't be able to see these messages. And of course there's a public chat like I showed you earlier, and we'll come back to the other chat features soon, but before that I want to show you some reactions that we have. So I can choose to send in these animated reactions inside the meeting to express my emotions. I could click on any one of these and it shows up over here, and in case my video was off, it will show up in this huge size for others to see. And if I switch to the other tab, you'll be able to see that my reaction is coming in, and of course everyone can send in different reactions, and we have a huge list of available options over here. So those are reactions which everyone can see, and I also have a hand raise button over here which tells the other people that I want to speak or whatever. So when I raise my hand from here, I'll be able to see that from the other tab as well. And I can lower my hand for now. And coming back to some extra chat features over here, so since I'm the host of this meeting, I can choose to turn on slow mode, which basically adds a delay between the time people can send messages. So if I select 10 seconds and turn it on the peer side, it shows me that slow mode is turned on, but I'm ready to send a message. So once I send a message over here, I'll have to wait for 10 seconds before I can send another message. I could type it out, but the send button will be disabled and I have to wait for 10 seconds to send the message again. So this works in the DM mode as well and in the public chat as well. So if I send a message, I'll have to wait 10 seconds again before I could send a message. I don't see the button over here, slow mode toggle, because that power relies only with the host and co-hosts of the meeting. I'll show you what co-host is in a minute, but I can turn off slow mode for now, and I can also click on this export chat button to export all the messages from the meeting in a .txt file that I can save on my local file system. And I also have a host controls button over here. So before I show you the other host controls, I want to show you what co-hosts and different roles inside a meeting are. So since I created this meeting, I am the host, and the other person who joined from the other tab is a guest for now, and they don't have any special privileges. But I, being the host, if I wanted to give them some special controls, I could click on this button and give them the co-host role, which basically allows them to perform admin operations like the slow mode that I showed you. So now in the other tab, I am a co-host, and I can choose to lock and unlock the room, turn on slow mode in the chat, and it also gives me access to host controls over here. Alright, so now you know what host and co-hosts are. I'm going to show you what host controls is. So for now, I'm going to demote this peer back to a guest role, and now I'm going to show you all this host controls. So these host controls are basically a set of rules that I can toggle being the host of the room, and this applies to non-admin, basically guest users in the meeting. So if I choose to toggle this one on, other peers won't be able to turn on their video, and I can restrict their microphone as well, turn off screen sharing for them as well, and I can restrict them from sending messages in chat, sending links in chat, and I can also disable them from sending reactions, these ones that I showed you, and I can also turn off Soundboard for them. I'll show you what Soundboard is, but basically these are some of the rules that I have. So now that I've toggled all of them, I can go back to my peer, my guest tab, and you'll be able to see that I can't do a lot of operations now. I cannot send messages because I toggled the messages setting, and I also cannot turn on my camera or my microphone because I turned both of them off as well from the host side. So this allows me to maintain some control over what my guests in the meeting can do, and obviously when I make someone the co-host, they can also play around with these options and toggle them on or off. So I'm gonna get rid of these restrictions for now, and you might have noticed there was something called Soundboard over here. So I'll show you what Soundboard is. So apart from these reactions, I can also click on this button to open a Soundboard window. Over here, I can choose different sound effects to be played in the meeting. I hope you heard that. But when I select any of these, every other peer inside the meeting will be able to hear these sound effects. By default, these are turned off for everyone, so only the host and co-hosts can use the Soundboard, but I can toggle it from here to allow everyone to use it, or I can do the same thing from here in the host controls window. Alright, so those were reactions and soundboards, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. I can also share my screen by clicking on this button over here, and I'm going to turn my video on again. And yeah, so that was the chat, and I also have this button over here which allows me to live stream my meeting. So I can click on this and click on go live to stream my meeting on different platforms. Over here I can choose any platform that I want to stream to. For example, if I select YouTube, from the YouTube Creator Studio I will get two values, an RTMP URL and a streaming key. When I enter them over here and click on start streaming, it will automatically start streaming the meeting to my YouTube channel. So all of these providers will give you a URL and a streaming key. Make sure you enter them exactly how they show it. And That's all it takes for you to start streaming on any of these platforms. Besides that, I have a record button over here which will allow me to record the meeting without live streaming it. So if I just wanted to record the meeting for viewing it later, I can click on this button, and I can also choose different views inside the recording. So this is the grid view that you see in the background, and we also have a spotlight view. So before I go to the recording, I can also change the layout inside the meeting over here. So at the top I have some additional advanced settings, and inside that we have layouts. This is the default grid layout, and if I switch to spotlight, it basically does this. My viewport will be small at the bottom over here, and other speakers will be shown in this manner. So when I click on recording, I can choose what format I want to record in. I can have spotlight view inside the meeting, but I can record my meeting with the grid view and vice versa. And I can also choose the option to upload this to IPFS. So this gives me a decentralized storage bucket, and it will give me an IPFS link for me to view my meeting later. So I'm gonna turn that off for now. I'm okay with the default storage mechanism, and I'm gonna click on start recording. So it will take a few seconds and my recording will be started. So it showed me the record and started toast over here, and this is the duration of the recording. So it's working. Now I can stop the recording whenever I want to. I can do that by clicking on this button again, and it will give me some information about the recording, and I can either email it to myself or any other email address that I wanted, or I could also download it as a local file by clicking on this button. So that was recording, and if I have my video off, I can also change the avatar that I showed you that we selected on the lobby. So even though I selected something else in the lobby, I can choose it anytime inside the meeting and change it to whatever I want it to. So this is what it will look like on my viewport, and obviously it will be the same for the other tab. Alright, that's the avatar, and I also have some virtual backgrounds over here. So let me just make my viewport bigger by switching back to the grid view, and if my video is on, I can choose different virtual backgrounds over here. I can either blur my background and click on apply to have it reflect inside the meeting, and the other peers should also be able to see them, or I can select these different virtual backgrounds that I have in case I wanted to hide my actual background behind me. So I can choose them, and that's how you change the virtual background. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Is there anything else that I'm missing? So okay, yeah, some more advanced settings over here. I can also monitor my network stats by clicking on this button and seeing how my network connection is at the moment. It shows me a comprehensive list of all the network metrics, and I can monitor my network health from here basically. And I also have some extra settings over here. So in case I wanted to switch my video output or input device, and similarly with the audio, I could go to these settings and I can select my different devices from the list over here. I can also turn on push to talk if I wanted to, which will allow me to control my mic with the space bar. And there are some other video meetings as well, video settings as well. And I also have the host controls again over here, so I can change the host controls from the peer list that I showed you earlier, or I can do it from the settings modal over here. It's the same settings. I also have a troubleshoot pop-up. In case you're facing issues with the meeting, you can go to troubleshoot to monitor your network and system load. So you can expand this network performance to see your ping and how it has been performing over a graph. And as you can see, it's beautiful, a ping of 16 milliseconds. And I can also check out the system load, and this is also a great graph. It shows me that it's not taking a lot of resources on my system. So in case you experience any lag or something, you can obviously monitor these and figure out if it's an issue with your network or your machine. And I can obviously change the layout again from here. So we give you these different options at different places. And I also have a notifications tab. So by default, when other people join the meeting, there's a small alert played for me, and I can turn that off if it bothered me. And yeah, similarly for chat messages, there's an alert which I can turn on and off. And I also have desktop notifications over here. So since I haven't granted the permissions needed for desktop notifications, the toggle is disabled. But if I granted the permissions from my browser, I could also turn on and off some desktop notifications that I get inside the meeting. So that was the settings modal. I also have a shortcuts list over here. So these are some keyboard shortcuts that we provide for you to control your actions inside the meeting. So I didn't necessarily have to click on the mic and camera button over here to turn them on or off. I can do it with a keyboard shortcut. I can turn on my video and cam with Shift and V, and I can do it and I can toggle it back again with the same shortcut. So these are some additional keyboard shortcuts. And I also have a send feedback modal over here. So in case you face any issue with the meeting or you just want to send in some appreciation, you can do it by typing it over here. And yes, you can submit it from here and we'll receive your feedback. And I also have one last option over here, which is the meeting timer toggle. And basically if I just turn that on, I'll be able to see how long my meeting has been running for. And if I didn't want to see that, I could just turn it off again. Yeah, I think I've covered everything, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you have a great experience with the meeting platform, and let us know in case you face any issues. And we have a lot of guides available for live streaming, for recording. In case you face any issues, you can go through these guides and figure out how to do it. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to end the meeting now by clicking on this button. I can either leave it or leave it just myself, or like I could end the meeting for everyone. So once I do that, the meeting has been ended for everyone. If I go back to my other tab, it's the same over here. Alright, thank you.